Welcome everyone. This is Nichel Anderson. I'm your host for my podcast show, Nichel Anderson Short Stories and Beyond. And today is going to be basically starting my finale month where I wrap up my podcast shows in the month of May. I take a 3-month summer break and then I return back for my season premiere starting in September. And this right here is basically wrapping up my 4th season of podcasting. So I'm very happy for that. And then, of course, I'll be returning back. That's the plan in September, which would be my 5th broadcast. So before I get started, let's go over a couple of things. Definitely want to say a big thank you to those that follow my Facebook page with MOLIAE based on my book that I wrote, Mitsrayim, a memoir of a past life in ancient Egypt. I do highly encourage you to go check that out. You can get it at Amazon or Barnes & Noble. If you already purchased my book, please help me out and leave a positive review if you really love it, right? And you really think this is awesome, you want it to go to the next level, which my goal is to make it a film. That was my dream when I wrote the manuscript. Before all this other stuff going on, that was my purpose, and I did it. And my dream is to make it a full feature. Be a part of that journey. Help me out. Connect with us on social media. Definitely check out MOLIAE.com. It's MOLIAE.com. And check out our merchandise, which actually I'm looking on my iPad here. And we have a lot of goodies. We have t-shirts because MOLIAE, Mitsrayim, is about love. It's about true love. It's about family. It's about life choices and how we go and interact with one another and learn and experience life. So I definitely have my I Am King. Go ahead and check out that t-shirt. It's already on sale as well. Go ahead and check out I Am Queen. I have that as well. And I had my good friend that's going to be joining me in these last episodes to, read a couple of character lines. He's from Egypt, all right? That's Nichel Anderson. I hope I said that right. I know you're smiling. But anyhow, I have another t-shirt that he helped design the image of that, the graphic. And it's I Love My Woman, or it's another one you can get, I Love My Man, if you're female. So anyhow, check that out. I definitely have some great looking mugs. I do remember, I say that tagline a lot with my production. It started from my book. And the other one I have, it's like different. You have the main logo when I started the production with the wings, and then you have just the text on the other one, and that's on sale as well. And of course, check out my Uncle Y 360 body oil, and I also have jewelry. So bottom line, check out MOLIAE.com. You can go to shop deals and it lists all the products there. Some items are on sale. For this month, wrapping up my podcast, I'm providing a discount code. You can type in there Love Egypt 20. You can take 20% off, especially on those things that are not considered 20. If you do see some items that saying it's on sale, go ahead and key that in, and then whatever that's the most, that's how my shop will automatically take that discount. All right, if you know what I mean. But most of these are on sale and some are not, and the products are not. You definitely can get 20% off. And it's just for this month. Basically, you could just say it started by today, and you can have up until my last episode, which is May the 24th, 2021. But yeah, a lot of items are already on sale, but you can definitely go in and use that 20% to take a little bit more off if the percentage of the sale that you are seeing is less than 20. You can get up to 20%. So definitely take that out. I have another beautiful necklace where you can get personalized, and it says "You're my boo." I love saying that. And you can personalize that. It's also on sale, so you can get that and like in the gold chain or what have you. And then definitely check out the hats, and as well as I Love Egypt MOLIAE t-shirt. That's been very hot. People do be clicking on that. So I do hope you check that out. So go ahead and connect with us. I have to do a separate podcast talking about the other expansion of MOLIAE, which is into MOLIAE Beauty, where I focus on the essential oils. Essential oils was very popular back in ancient Egypt. There was a healing effect. It's a very aromatherapeutic for you as a person because we have so much going on and so busy. And essential oils played a lot in that, as well as herbs. So definitely check out that site is MOLIAE.com, and I'm also having a sale. Mother's Day here in the United States is May the 9th, so please check that out. That'll be MOLIAEbeauty.com, and the discount code, it had started. It ends May the 9th at midnight, and that code is Mothers 35. Okay, Mothers 35. I'm very popular. All right, Mothers 35. That's MOTHERS 35. All right, so we covered that, and I also I was talking about MOLIAE and the merchandise. Please check that out. The shirt I Love Ancient Kemet is there on sale. We got hats, Aspu Rising. Aspu is another word for the sun. So in ancient times we referenced that, and of course the Arce with the M logo. So check out those beanie hats there. And again, I was mentioning about the jewelry. You're My Boo. You can get it in gold and personalized as well, so you want to give that to somebody. So we do have jewelry. We do have those mugs. True love always, finds a way. And again, I am king, I am queen t-shirts. So check that out if you want to support the production, as well as my dream to turn MOLIAE into a full feature movie. Okay, which is going to take a lot in the sense of financing and finding the right team, because team is important. So, and if you're a talent, or if you not just in acting, but on the technical side, please reach out to info@molie.com. You don't have to. If you have a resume, great, send that. If you just want to kind of notate some of the things you have in an email of your experience, send that, because I know everybody's busy. But if you have a resume and references, you can do that. Go ahead and get onto our connection list, I'm calling it. And when we're ready to roll, we can reach out to you and make it happen. All right. So with that done and said, molie.com, I said that, and of course, connect with us on social media. So facebook.com/MOLIAE. We have people following us there, and we also on Twitter. So twitter.com/MOLIAE. And then Instagram. We're on Instagram recently. We just got back on Instagram. So it's instagram.com/MOLIAE8. And then our beauty line is instagram.com/MOLIAEbeauty8. And again, subscribe to our newsletter. You can go to our official website, and you would definitely see on the home page, if you want, you get 10% on your next order, and you can sign up for our newsletter. So definitely do that. Check out some merchandise. Definitely on MOLIAE Beauty, because we got a lot of goodies. And MOLIAE Beauty is for beauty for the men and the women. It's with the theme of Egypt. So when you go there, you haven't been there yet, oh my gosh, I hope you really enjoy it. Especially if you love Egypt, ancient Egypt, Kemet, and you're just going to be floored with it. It's just, I was just moved to create that extension, and you're really going to feel like home, like family, right? Okay, so we talked about that. And in my podcast show, I initially was on speakers.com when I first started podcasting, 4 years now, going on 5 years. And it just wasn't working to the point of making me be more productive in the sense of, and knowing the different data points that you need as a podcast host. So I end up moving over to Podbean, where I have my other podcast show, which is called Surviving Your Journey Towards Success. That's more focused on business, and when you're working in the workforce, motivational, stories that we could tell about our own survivals and how we, came through that, went through that and survived, and able to tell and motivate other people. So those are the things I talk about on that show. So I moved my short stories over to Podbean recently, so now I got to build up my following. So definitely go check that out. And the direct page you can go to, which you can download the app at Podbean, or you can just go to Nichel Anderson Short Stories and Beyond.podbean.com. And I definitely like the flow with it. Definitely I can get my stats. I can find out what's going on. They definitely have like a live show type platform that I will be doing live shows that I rolled out about relationships, because that's basically what my book was about. It's about relationships, and my production honed on different parts of segments of my story. It's about falling in love, finding your true love, dealing with family, but all in all, it's about relationships and how we love one another, how we can learn to do that. It's the 360, boo. So that's basically what that is. So at any rate, definitely check out my Podbeam, Nichel Anderson Short Stories and Beyond. .podbeam.com. You can see all the episodes. It's very laid out, I think, very nicely. Another thing too, when I'm like scrolling on my pad here, is that you click that hamburger. We call it hamburger. It's the top left. I'm not sure on your iPhone or on your Samsung device where it would be, but definitely should be at the top where you see these lines, 3 lines. You click that, and then if you scroll down, you're going to get all the information about my production, MOLIAE, which is based on my book, Mitsrayim. You're going to get the email address. You're going to get how you can contact. You're going to get other information about the other things that I have done associated with my book that I turned into a theatrical production. And like I mentioned before, I always saw it as a film, but whatever reason, you got to read that back up of what happened when I ended up doing stage. But nonetheless, I did film as well, meaning the film of W.B.D. Boys, Dawn of New Day, and then I did the websodes of MOLIAE. But nonetheless, you see the archives of my previous podcast. Like I said, I've been doing this for 4 years now, and you can definitely join. So definitely go to my Podbean and sign up to follow, as well as, you can look at all the different other things about MOLIAE and about MOLIAE Beauty, okay? Buy you some of that Ankara 360, okay? All right, I think that's basically it. This is going to be episode 57, all right, entitled Tribal Leaders, Reposition of Sudan Power under Mitsrayim Rule. Okay, so we're going to get into this, and we're going to have my guest speaker, which he's from Egypt, and, say a few lines or what have you, and be into the mix. And if you're just joining me, usually I ask a guest speaker to attend and the time that they can, because I know everybody's busy. It was, we did what we could to be able to hook up to be able to get this done. But I hope you like this particular lead up to the finale, which will be episode 58 on May 24. So today we're going to look at episode 57, and where we are is basically back in Mitsrayim. That's how we're going to start this off in episode 57, and we're basically dealing with the whole aftermath of what happened in the finale last May. All right, that was my season 3, and how King Mahlon, basically told on those individuals, especially from Orion to the Tekun, which is a higher, highly, next level of authority that we were talking about, that gave rule of who would be kings and queens, and what we call the Sudan, the apar. So, and at this point in this episode, we kind of move further into King Mahlon repositioning his power and who he will go after next. Okay, so hopefully you got caught up and know where we are. King Mahlon, they used to call him kings instead of pharaohs. Pharaoh, the word, came later in time during the different generations and mixes of families, but nonetheless in the beginning they were called kings. And that's where we at over Egypt, which back then I'm calling it Mitsrayim in my book, Mitsrayim. And then later, some people use the word Kemet, what have you, but nonetheless it was Mitsrayim in the beginning. So let's go ahead and go forward and get this started. All right, so let's go. Let's begin with my episode today for my podcast show, Nichel Anderson Short Stories and Beyond, with episode 57, entitled of the tribal leaders' reposition of Sudan power under Mitsrayim Rule. Opening scene. We're at the royal palace of Abbas in the Nontu room as King Mahlon sat, observing the identified traitors amongst the Congeto Council leaders, and Aetro, one of the tribal members and the older brother to Sanel, a southern tribal member as well.
And what is your plans forward, my ruler?
I will proceed in the coming fourth aspect. We will move in the lower regions of Sudan.
I see. I heard that Bantu remove accord to your ways, and no other.
This time is out of mighty warriors. We will see if Bantu will move.
I see.
This time is out of mighty warriors. We will see if Bantu will move.
The royal palace of Abbas in the Nontu room as King Mahlon sat, observing the identified traitors amongst the Congeto Council leaders, and Aetro, one of the tribal members and the older brother to Sanel, a southern tribal member as well in the Sudan. King Mahlon pondered while listening to them explain their reasoning for journeying forces with the now known enemy of Mitsrayim, the Orions, and the Star Council of the North Wind. King Mahlon had several advisors, and his highest comrade, now a general, still, Jetur. He was standing nearby King Mahlon. King Mahlon wore the crown of glory in which of solidified gold and gemstones from the Atini genealogy of King that Mahlon was one of the direct descendants. His gold breastplate moved slightly, making a rhythmic sound amongst the sounding movement of the Nile below, as the floor-leaf marble columns opened the breeze to flow in, to calm the noise of those speaking to King Mahlon. Impatiently, he immediately interrupted Aetro and Wenti. Enough of this. I shall not hear the words you speak that are untrue for what unfolded in the last upspit 80 ago. Aetro and Wenti looked worried. King Mahlon leaned forward with precision, staring at them both. Where is Sanel? But we all know he has much to tell about the betrayal against Mitsrayim. Aetro hesitated, while Wenti, with impatience to get out of the impending trouble with King Mahlon and his allies, stepped forward. I wish to form an alliance with you, King Mahlon, and your allies, spoke Wenti. Being a bit nervous, he continued to stand firm, in a sense that he knew that he had to join forces with a country that would help him and his people. General Jetur spoke with force. How is it so that now you want to join forces when it was you and your council to start the war many a years ago that brought us to this now? Wenti was getting more nervous as he looked back at Aetro. Then Aetro spoke with acceptance that he must align with a superpower as Mitsrayim is, for what he learned will be forthcoming of those tribal members that do not. Aetro finally spoke with calmness as the reality stepped up his movement, as he could see across the Nile River that under this rule it was Mitsrayim, and that it would be under the leadership of King Mahlon was inevitable to surviving. He looked into King Mahlon's eyes and his advisors that stood around him as King Mahlon sat on his throne. I know where Sanel is hidden, Aetro spoke, and the whereabouts where they call in the Orion, named Heni. There were gaps in forces amongst the royal court and King Mahlon royal chambers that was wide and long, seemed like miles of columns surrounded them. King Mahlon sat, observing a confession. He leaned back in his throne for a moment and thought. King Mahlon then slowly stood up as the Tata and gas stopped. In the middle of his platform, before Aetro and Wenti. Then King Mahlon spoke. You seek alliance with I. Aetro and Wenti nodded as the transition of their loyalty merged with the ruler of Mitsrayim, King Mahlon. The spear rays glistened on the top rays of King Mahlon, solid gold crown as he led his slightly apar forward. He slightly leaned back, thinking strategically of their offer before speaking. He looked over at the others, waiting equally for the decision at hand as King Mahlon then decided to walk down 3 full steps downward, near the platform where Aetro and Wenti stood. Let it be so. I will grant my guards to protect your borders for what will arise of your position before me. They bowed before King Mahlon, and then King Mahlon looked intensely at both of them. Let your decision today align with the truth. Never betray a descendant of the Tekun. Meanwhile, on the far outskirts of the Congeto Council, in what would be called in later future times the Congo, we see Sanel dressed in the dark orange ceramic as his woolly hair hung tight against his forehead for signaling him his strength and his point of view. As he stood on the wooden balcony where his wife once was now with children, he pondered his next move since Nontu was taken by Heni back to Orion on the escape off of planet Tamat. Drinking his woo tea, he felt a change in the wind and immediately looked up to see a shine in the skies to the northeast. He took a slow sip of his tea to calm the stress of his spine, when suddenly a knock was at his door. Sanel turned to see to whom it was and identified the high-rank official that still had his arms wrapped up for healing from General Jetur of Mitsrayim battle a few aspers ago. Sanel turned back around to absorb the scenery of the trees, the forests, and the Congo. As his official proceeded to walk up closer, Sanel felt the truth that he was going to speak. So he spoke first. So my brother too is in the waters of those ancients apar, the one I despise. Before all that know, his officer paused before nodding. It is so. Ensign.